Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason Laporte, and as always, my co-host Zach Partridge. We are back, round 3.
We've done so many podcasts.
I don't know how I'm making it through with being sick and still kind of getting the ball rolling here.
Yeah, I'm going to be working some late nights.
So our guest, I actually have a little bit in common with our guest. I always like it when I have something in common with our guest. Usually it's you because you fight and I don't.
No, it's been you lately. Everybody's been a Marine.
Everybody's a Marine. And now we're welcoming Camee Double Whammy Adams to the podcast, who is in the fitness industry and has competed. So I'm super excited to have you on, Camee. How you doing?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm excited to be here and chat a little bit about fitness and mixed martial arts.
Where did you get the nickname Double Whammy? That's great.
Right? It was given to me like all good nicknames are.
There you go.
So it was at FitCon. One of our guys was announcing for the show, and it was my second fight. I was walking out and he just said that, and I just like chuckled and laughed, and it's just stuck, and I took it. I was like, all right, that works. I'll take it. So I don't know how they came up with it. I just said, okay. All right.
It flows good. It's got a good flow to it.
That is right up there with some of the best nicknames in MMA.
Yeah.
That's great.
For sure.
Yeah, with the double whammy, like I like to think it like works for me because I do the fitness and the fighting. It plays a lot to my personality of like kind of girly and feminine, but also, I can be aggressive and I like to, get in there and fight. So I feel like it's a great fit. So it works.
That's awesome. Before we get into your fight, because I know Zach's usually the ones with a million questions on the fight stuff. So I want to talk about, because I noticed that you competed before and we actually had the same coach, and it looks like figure, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I want to know how has that helped you for preparations for your fights, and really what I really want to know is what's the main differences in prepping for a figure show versus getting ready for a fight?
The number one difference that I really like is it's not about how I look. It's about how I perform.
Yes. I
just got really sick of just someone else telling me what I need to look like and all of that. But I actually am fighting at a lower weight now. So all of the nutrition principles that I learned and utilized and learn how to, eat clean and diet have all helped me so much in, keeping a lower weight, but just eating clean all year and just having more self-awareness of what my body needs, especially going through a lot of intense workouts every day. I have like those basic fundamentals, and then I've just kind of tweaked things and learned things on the way to make it fit for more athletic training instead of just straight weights. But I think it's been very helpful. If you haven't ever dieted or even got into the basics of nutrition, you're kind of just winging it and hoping for the best. So I can be more scientific and detailed. And yeah, I don't think I would have had that knowledge or experience of how your brain kind of goes, when you're losing fat and you're dieted down and you still have to work and be able to push through it mentally. So I think it's a big one up for me, and I'm grateful for that experience. And I talk about that a lot on social media is here's all the things I learned from fitness and competing, here's how it helped me. And then here's, how MMA helps me. And here's kind of like the link between the two. So
are you doing your own nutrition, or do you have a coach that helps you when you're doing your weight cuts?
I am doing my own nutrition.
Okay.
I actually did reach out to Shane just because I am trying to fight at a lower weight.
That's awesome.
I carry so much muscle. So I'm like, I don't need all this. I need to like weigh less. So yeah.
So is he helping you? Well, I messaged him yesterday and told him so he did say it. So is he going to help you with your weight cut for this?
Not for this one. This fight kind of came quick. I had previously fought like the middle of September, made that weight. And then I kind of was just relaxing a little and was going to ease into just getting smaller, to my next one. And for this fight, it's just kind of back into another cut where, you're going to be hungry for a few weeks, which is fine, so yeah.
Is it though? Is it fine?
Is it really?
It's worth it. And I feel like that's what what's been the difference is I feel like for a fight, I actually get to perform athletically and use all my tools and skills. And so dieting, like, it's worth it to me. For like just stepping on the stage, it wasn't worth it to me. I was like, it just didn't do it for me. Wasn't passionate about that. So yes, it's worth it, Zach.
I'm telling myself that. No, so I mean, I think right? Like I'm fighting one of your teammates.
Okay.
So and Johan, he's like walks around that way. So he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
So
yeah, it's a whole nother game. Like your weight cut is a whole nother game besides like your skills and your fighting. Like you're managing two separate things.
100%. I was talking about it with Cole Faust at the gym last night. When people ask me if I get nervous or excited or whatever, the only part of this whole process that I dread is cutting weight. If I could just show up and fight, like, let's do it. Like, but the cutting weight part is just like, like it happens to be my birthday tomorrow, Okay. Guess what I'm going to do for my birthday? Not eat.
It's like have some chicken.
Yeah.
Some chicken, some
Hey, you want some pumpkin pie? Yeah, but I can't.
Yeah. It'll be worth it though.
Yeah. So, I mean, but my new rule is my first fight I did on December 9th. I didn't get Thanksgiving, so I'll never fight over the holidays again. So as long as it's before Thanksgiving, I was down.
You're good. Okay.
Yeah, and then maybe into like February, so I have time after the holidays. But
yeah, in an ideal world, that would be great. But when fights come up, you're like, hell yes, let's do it. So,
that's the other thing. I've never been offered a fight where my instant reaction wasn't been like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
No matter
especially
what the time is.
for females, like. It's kind of slim pickings. Like they don't come around often. So when they do, you're all over it, Yeah. So that's like after that fight that I had in Iowa, it went great. I didn't take any damage. My weight was still low, but I enjoyed myself. And when I got the call for this, I was like, yes, all right, we're going to be hungry a little bit longer, but it's okay.
So what was that like?
Oh, go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say your fight kind of came in. Your fight initially wasn't announced on the main card we did with Cody when we broke down and told us. Okay. So it sounded like somebody. We know what happened. Somebody ended up dropping out because of injuries. Okay. Sounds like you got the call and you're obviously ready to go.
Yeah, I actually bugged him. Like I heard that the card was happening, and I just said, hey, I would take it if something happens. Yeah. I think Jeremy had reached out to him even before I did, like right after Iowa or something. And I didn't hear anything. And then I guess something happened in between that time. So I'm sneaking right in. I think I'm the only female bout, which is cool.
There's a pro. Yeah, there's a pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's Suya.
Go for it. Say it.
I'm not even going to say her last name. Suya. She trains with Mitch Ramirez out of the pit, and she's fighting Brittany Gilliam and Brittany's first pro fight.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know Suya was a pro. Actually, I thought she was so Emmy. Okay, good for her. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Girl fights are fun.
They are fun. A lot of fun.
They are fun.
You guys throw down.
Yeah. It gets a little scrappy.
For sure. No, there's a I don't know what it is. Stigmas or whatever around women's MMA, and I've seen people comment before like, I just don't like seeing girls doing it. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like they freaking put in the work. There are some girls that skill for skill, pound for pound, are just as skilled and technical as any guy in MMA all over. And like, let's just face it. Like when it kind of turns into the dog fight of it, when it's girls, like it gets vicious.
It does. And that's why it's great. There's just more emotion, in it usually. And I would agree, we do put in a lot of work and we show up and we fight and get it done just like the guys. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So
what's it like going out to Iowa with Jeremy Horn and fighting on a card with him?
It was amazing. It's so neat to get that experience with like such a high level guy. I don't even know how many fights he has at this point.
Like over 120.
Over 100,
yeah, a lot. yeah, it's fun. Obviously, the energy is heightened, and you get treated real nice, and you get, like good rooms, and it's just fun. So I actually got to corner him in Iowa with another guy named Derek who came out.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it really is just a neat experience. I can't really like say anything other than it's just neat. Like, like you're in the presence of greatness, like he had kicked him and the guy like was dead, like just gone.
Freaking Jeremy Horn's still out there head KOing people.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking cool.
So
it really
crazy.
is. Yeah, I think he's 45 now, but he gets it done. Like he's still scrapping. He's still scary as shit. And
do you get to spar with him?
I do.
How's that go?
It's good. Like I don't have a better training partner than Jeremy. Like he's just such a great fighter and a great coach, and he's able to break, his high level skills down to an area where I'm at and continue to keep pushing me forward and like fill in the gaps where I need to keep getting better. It's so great going with him because I know he's not going to like kick my ass and hurt me. It's more
Right.
to level me up. Just like fill in those gaps that I said that I need to work on. And so he probably is my best training partner. And I'm grateful for that. There's not any other girls in my gym that fight. So
Really?
no, it's kind of me. And it's just me.
How long have you been training there?
So I've been at Jeremy's gym on and off for probably 6 years. I took
Okay.
some time off, like did mom things. And then when I came back, just ready to go on it in and actually pursue it as a career other than just like taking a fight or two, so. Yeah.
So if you're pursuing as a career, so what's next after this? Like, do you have a map? Like I would need this many fights, then I want to go pro, and like, do you have them mapped out?
A little, yes. I think we all kind of have like a map.
Yeah.
So it's not so much how many fights I need. It's just skill level. I feel like there's pros that turn pro really early and, they kind of get their ass kicked, or you can be an AMI for longer and take a lot of fights, and come out, I don't know, really skilled. I think it really just depends when I feel like my skill level is there and I'm well-rounded and I'm ready to get paid to get punched in the face than just for fun. But everyone has a different opinion on that. What do you think? Do you think there's like a certain amount of fights, or you just feel like when you're ready?
There's a couple right answers, and I don't know if that's the beauty with MMA, right? Is everybody has their own path, and nobody can really say which path is right or wrong.
Yeah.
But what I can say is I've really liked the answer is you don't turn pro until there's nobody left for you in the region to fight like as an amateur, right? Like clear through the amateur ranks. And then once you've cleared through the amateur ranks and it's to a point where it's like, I can't fight as frequently as I would like to.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody around. Like you could travel to an Iowa or have opportunities other places, but those are kind of few and far between opportunities. Right. Yeah. Once that's the case, that's the time to go. That's what I was told. That's the time to go pro. When there isn't any challenges left for you in your region or in your state as an amateur. And I kind of like that. So that could look like that can look like 4 fights for some people, and that could look like 12 fights for some people. It just depends.
And I definitely think it's a little different for females where there really isn't there's probably not 10 girls in Utah that I can fight. Like,
no, there's not.
No, yeah.
No, that I know of at least.
Well, and again, like I said, can challenge you too, right? I mean, you're 3-2, you have a good record. You just went to Iowa and you had a very good performance, didn't take any damage. And I understand that any girl on any competitor can win on any given night.
Yeah.
But there's people that I can look at in my division, and I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it, but like it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
Like that's not the challenge for me. You know what I mean? And so you'll have some of those people too. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a plan. I would like to make my pro debut sometime in 2021. Whenever I feel like I'm ready, that's when it will happen.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Camee, what do you I was going to say, what do you know about your opponent? Are you familiar with her? Have you seen any of her fights?
I actually didn't know of her. I do
Okay.
know that I've seen 2 of her fights now. I know the gym that she trains out of is in Cedar City.
Empire, yep.
Yeah. And I really don't know that much about her. I didn't know her. I watched 2 of her fights and felt like it would be a good fight for me to take.
She's one of the nicest, coolest people you'll ever
Is
meet.
she?
So we had her
That's
on.
awesome.
We had her on yesterday. She's pretty
Okay.
awesome.
Good. That's good to hear. You know,
But yeah, like it's good, clean competition between 2 good people, and it's fun.
Good.
And that's when it's fun.
I agree. I kind of got those vibes that, yeah, she really does love the sport. She likes to get in there and work hard. And it's like about the sport and training, not like, she's trying to be all tough and like,
Nope.
none of that. Like she just truly enjoyed the sport. So, and same.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to be fun. It's actually one of the things that I've so Johan is like one of the first people, my first opponents that I've ever really talked to before, because we had him on the podcast.
Okay.
And after I was like, yeah, he's so likable. He's so nice.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a great
like
guy.
I kind of build up in my head all my other fights of like why I kind of don't like him and why I kind of really, and kind of do that a little bit. And I'm like, but like I know it, like I got a little glimpse of it. I'm like, he's such a nice guy.
And he genuinely is. So I'm sorry. Like
I believe it.
I have nothing to say but like great things about him too.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's still a fight, and he's gonna. I asked him if he wanted to meet me in the middle of the cage, and we could just just punch each other, like trade for trade back and forth, like rock sucking robots. But he didn't give me much of a response to that.
He's like, no.
I like to have fun with it, but no, I'm excited. I think it makes the whole process, it makes the lead up to it, and just more fun and exciting than the nerves of it too. Yeah. When you're going in there with somebody that you can respect and you look forward to sharing that with, because that too. I mean, I don't know how much you've paid attention to your past opponents or anything like that, but you share such a unique bond with somebody in the cage. Like it's pretty weird. I mean, I have opponents that my first opponent, like we still message. I mean, we haven't seen each other since, but we still message every once in a while.
Yeah. It's a connection you definitely won't have with anything else, like anybody else. That's for sure. So I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. What gym do you train out of?
I train at One Hit MMA up in Layton.
Okay.
So one of my main coaches, she's been in my corner a couple of my fights, her husband, but she used to train down with Jeremy Horn, Crystal Smith.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Jordan's
in my or Crystal are always in my corner.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I watched Jordan fight like way back when. Like I wasn't even fighting yet, and I have seen some of his fights. So that's cool.
Yeah.
You guys have quite a few guys that fight, right? I feel like every card there's like someone from One Hit.
We're probably one of the more active gyms that puts fighters on most cards. A lot of steel fist cards. We've had some fighters fight on Jeremy Horn's cards. And then here and there on Fierce.
Nice.
This is probably, I think we have 2 of us fighting on this Fierce card, but 2 amateurs fighting on this Fierce card.
So who is the other one?
Cole Faust. He's fighting for the 155 title against one of Cody's guys from Fierce, Blanca.
I don't know this one. I'll have to look them up.
They'll be the undercard. Yeah.
That's going to be like that fight to me. I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's so many good fights on this card. Like anybody that follows local MMA, there's so many good fights on this card. But Cole Faust is somebody that I train with every day, and I've seen him, and I think very highly of him. And it's no secret to anybody that listens to this podcast of how highly I think of him. Like he's been doing this since he was 5 years old. Like he's being raised to, and he's going to make his mark on the sport, and he's going to be a huge name that comes out of Utah in this sport. Cool. And it's super fun. This is only his 3rd amateur fight, but he's 18 years old.
Okay. I was going to say, he sounds young.
Yeah. He's a killer. So
Good for him.
I'm super excited to watch, but I don't get to watch because his fight's right before mine.
Dang.
Cody, if you're listening, you didn't adhere to my request. I have my dude. You should let me be the first fight of the night. because I want to sit back and watch the rest of the fights.
I haven't even seen the fight card. How many fights are on it? So I
You
know
need
it's
to get-
Skyler.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you, Camee.
I would appreciate that. Thank you. So I know Skyler and King are the main card, and then what after that? Like who's on the pro card?
You have Jason South, who's another throwback guy fighting Hayward Charles. Steve Sharp's on the card, who's a huge throwback.
Yeah.
You probably remember him from back in the day.
Razor Sharp. That's
Yep.
awesome.
Razor Sharp's on there. You got Fabio Serrero against Dex Montenegro. I think he's an out-of-state guy.
Okay.
Jerome Hatch is fighting Zach Cavenders. Jerome's another throwback guy.
Yep.
Zach's a local up-and-coming guy. Skylar Frazier, Mitch Ramirez, and Trevor Bradshaw is a pro card. That's going to be fireworks.
Okay.
That next one, Joe Haro, who we just had on, is fighting Nate Owens.
Beat down.
You have Thomas T-Train Prestridge making his pro debut.
Okay.
Suya and Brittany. Marco Sanchez, who we have coming on Friday, is fighting Tiki Aquino, who I think Tiki's from out of state as well. And then Robbie Minor's also making his pro debut against Alex Poinar.
Okay. Yeah, if you'd send me that, I wanna see.
Yep, I will for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Camee, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
I do. So I am sponsored by a sports bra company, but they support the females. They got your back and the front.
There we go.
It's She Fit, and they are awesome. They have allowed me to be able to train as much as I do and make that pro debut. So I'm so grateful for them. And if you have girlfriends, wives that need a good sports bra, She Fit.
I'll send my wife there.
Yeah, there you
No,
go.
you should. It's a female-owned brand, which of course I love that. But they're just very, very supportive. They're really good at telling like a woman's story, and they just know all the things that women need, I guess. And so, yeah, they're just an awesome company. Awesome company to work for and partner with.
Perfect.
Pretty awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come on and join us today. Look forward to watching you throw down.
Thank you.
For everybody listening, get out and get with Camee. Get your tickets now. Do not wait until the last minute, because I promise you will not get a seat.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. I will put my link to my tickets as soon as I get it. I don't have it yet. I was bugging him yesterday, so hopefully I get it soon.
We're supposed to get it in the next couple of days. He just said.
You don't have yours either?
Nope, nobody does.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there's some things. There's some things they're still trying to work out. Some kinks they're trying to work out. But yeah, hopefully in the next few days. But yeah, let everybody know. Get them now, folks.
Okay, I will.
Roger that, Camee. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming on, and look forward to seeing you fight.
Thank you. Good luck, Zach.
Thanks, you too.
See ya.
See you later.
Boom.